whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth.
This is not a test.
If you listen to this program, you're going to get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt-naked truth. This program is X-rated.
You ready?
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
You are now tuned into the world's most honest talk show host, the Elder Umoja.
For those who don't know, this is Elder Umoja Ajabu, your host for After Naked Truth. This program is designed to strip the clothes off of well-dressed lies. So therefore, this program is X-rated. It's X-rated because the truth will not have on any clothes. So buckle up. For some of y'all, this might be a rough ride. If I was going to tag this program, I think I'd call it The Existence of America. If you've been keeping up, and hopefully you have, you see that there's a squabble going on between Trump and Biden. Trump is treating Biden like he is the heir apparent of the nomination to be the Democratic Party's offering to run against him in November. But that is to be determined. But anyway, they are squabbling with each other, and Biden, he said Trump is an existential threat to the United States. Boy, that is a bold statement. Joe Biden called President Trump an existential threat in a campaign appearance in Iowa. Biden labeled Trump an existential threat to decency, America's standing in the world, and democracy. He says, Biden, 4 years of Donald Trump would be an aberration in American history. Really? An aberration? Something out of the ordinary? 8 years will fundamentally change who we are as a nation. Really? Why does he say that? Biden Trump says, let's make America great again. But he says, let's make America America again. Well, who is America? Why is Biden taking Trump to task? And not only is Biden taking Trump to task, so is the House. They believe that Trump is not fairly playing the game. They believe that Trump is going against the law, and he is. He is going against the law because he won't answer subpoenas. He's telling his people, the Attorney General, Barr, his personal attorney, Gann, he's telling them not to answer any subpoenas, Hope Hicks, because he is exerting executive privilege, and the people in the Congress is saying that he does not have an executive privilege to exercise in that job. So he is defying the law of the land. And because they feel that he is defying the law of the land, the House approves enforcing subpoenas in court against Trump officials. The House approved a resolution Tuesday to authorize the House Judiciary Committee and other panels to go to court to enforce their subpoenas of the Trump administration. The measure, which was adopted 229 to 191 along party lines, allows the Judiciary Committee to sue Attorney General William Barr and former White House counsel Don McGahn for refusing to comply with its subpoenas related to former special counsel Robert Mueller's report on Russia's efforts to influence the 2016 election and possible obstruction of justice by President Donald Trump. They're saying, Donald, you are not following the law. And because you're not following the law, you're not allowing people to respond to our subpoenas. We can't force people, and that's what a subpoena is supposed to do. It's supposed to force people to be able to show up at a court hearing or a deposition or some legal meeting. But Donald done told Barr, his attorney general, and his former White House counsel, don't show up. I don't care that they done subpoenaed you. Don't show up. But Donald, that's against the law. I don't care that's against the law. Don't show up. And Biden is saying that that is a threat to the very existence of America because Donald will not honor the law. He will not honor the subpoena. I'm telling y'all better buckle up. Because for some of y'all, it's going to be a rough ride. You are listening to the most truthful talk show host in the business. Unbought, unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt-naked truth. What is the truth about why Donald Trump is saying that I'm going to ignore your subpoena? Donald says that he is ignoring the subpoena because the Congress and the FBI that is doing the investigation, that is giving him the subpoena, is corrupt. Biden is saying that that position is a threat to existence of America. Biden says that they got to make America again. And they got to make America again by holding Trump accountable because he will not respond to the House's subpoenas or let his people respond to the House's subpoena because he says the organization that done the investigation, that started the investigation, the FBI, is corrupt. Trump says exposing corrupt FBI probe could be the crowning achievement of his presidency. He says that the FBI has been corrupt for a long time. In an exclusive interview with Hill TV, Trump ordered the release of classified documents in the Russia collusion case to show the public the FBI probe started as a hoax and that exposing it could become one of the crowning achievements of his presidency. He's saying that exposing the corruption of the FBI could be the best thing that he could do for America. Biden says if you expose the FBI, then it is a threat to the existence of America. Are y'all listening to me? I'm telling you, I'm unbossed, and unafraid, and I'm getting ready to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth. You are listening to the most truthful talk show host in the business. I'm telling you that Trump has a point. Oh, Lord. Ajabu, did you say that? Boy, buckle up. It's getting ready to be a rough ride for some of you. Trump says in its own way, this might be the most important thing because of this corruption. Him exposing the FBI. The president also called into question the FBI's handling of the Russian investigation, again criticizing it for surveilling his campaign. Biden says he wants to make America again. Biden says that he wants the integrity of the FBI not to be threatened. Biden saying that Trump threatening the integrity of the FBI is a threat to the very existence of America. Trump says that exposing the corrupt FBI will be the crowning achievement of his presidency. See, Trump is in a position that we as people of African descent who've been struggling to be equal participating citizens in this country were never in a position to bring the FBI to task like Trump is. Trump is right. The FBI is corrupt. When you talk about what the FBI is doing to Trump, it's been doing to us ever since it's been in existence. If you look at back in 1969, when Fred Hampton, who was the Black Panther Party leader for Illinois, and he lived in Chicago, when you look at his assassination, you see the FBI's hand all over it. In this article that comes out in these times, the headline, how the FBI conspired to destroy the Black Panther Party. We see that the FBI was corrupt. The FBI, in fact, played a central role in the assassinations, and her hands' initial lies were only the top layer of what proved to be a massive cover-up. This was the FBI coordinating the assassination of Fred Hampton, who was the leader of the Black Panther Party in Illinois, because he wanted America to accept people of African descent as being equal participating citizens as they do with white folks. I'm telling you, you better buckle up. On December 4th, 1969, a select unit of 14 Chicago police officers under the direction of Cook County State's Attorney Edward Hanrahan executed a pre-dawn raid on a West Side apartment that left Illinois' Black Panther Party leaders Fred Hampton and Mark Clark dead, several other young Panthers wounded, and 7 raid survivors arrested on bogus attempted murder charges. Though Hanrahan and his men claimed there had been a shootout that morning, physical evidence eventually proved that in reality, the Panthers had only fired a single shot in response to approximately 90 from the police. Hanrahan, the prosecutor, lying the FBI helping him to lie. In the wake of the raid, Illinois' Black Panther Party Minister of Defense, Bobby Rush, stood on the steps of the bullet-riddled Black Panther Party apartment and declared that J. Edgar Hoover, y'all know Jay, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, were responsible for the raid. Y'all know Bobby Rush. He's a congressional representative for Illinois in Congress right now. He was with the Black Panther Party when the death or the assassination was carried out against Fred Hampton. Bobby Rush called it straight up. It was an FBI raid. It was an FBI assassination. The FBI was corrupt to the degree that, who is this? This is Donald. This is the Don. I'm not, look, I know you're supposed to take calls from the president, but I'm busy. I got something to say. I'm telling you, I'm unbossed and unafraid. I'm taking the Don's call. I gotta get through this. I only got so much time. But the Donald, now I'm in agreement with Donald. The FBI is corrupt. And Don, I know, surely you was calling to support me, because you know, and I know, the FBI is corrupt. Bobby Rush called it back in 1969 that the FBI had its hand all in the assassination of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. The first evidence, wait a minute, the FBI had in fact played a central role in the assassinations, and Harahan's initial lies were only the top layer of what proved to be a massive cover-up by the FBI. The FBI is corrupt. Biden, if Donald exposing the FBI as being corrupt is a threat to the existence of America, what are you saying? You're saying that in order for America to be able to exist, that it ought to be able to kill leaders of the African American community and get away with, who is it? Don! I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I'm not going to take your call. I agree with you. I'll talk to you after I get off the air. We are in agreement. The FBI is corrupt. And Biden, if he's taking the position that in order for America to stay America, you got to allow the FBI to stay corrupt, I'm with you. Expose them. And see, this is the situation. Donald is in a position to expose them. He done told Attorney General Barr to investigate the investigators. We never have a chance. Now this the FBI. I'm not taking your call either. I'm exposing you. I agree with Donald. You corrupt. I'm not taking your call. No. Who is that? Comey? No. I'm not taking the call. I believe that what Donald is saying is true, and I have the evidence. The first evidence to support Russia's allegations surfaced in March 1971 when a group of anonymous activists who called themselves the Citizens commissioned to investigate the FBI broke into a small FBI office in Media, Pennsylvania, to expropriate more than 1,000 documents. In doing so, the commission exposed the FBI's COINTEL program, which stands for Counterintelligence Program, a secret counterintelligence program created to, as the LA Times put it in 2006, investigate and disrupt dissident political groups in the United States. And those groups, I'll get to that. It tells you who those groups are. Those groups were groups made up of people of African descent. According to the Commission's prolonged documents, Hoover, FBI, had directed all of the Bureau's office to expose, listen to this, disrupt, are you listening? Misdirect, discredit, and otherwise neutralize, kill, wipe off the face of the earth. What did he direct the Bureau's officers to do that to? African American organizations and leaders, including, watch this, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, that's Martin Luther King, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, that's Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, H. Rap Brown, Mukasa, also the Nation of Islam at that time. That was Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. How many of those people are dead? Malcolm dead, Martin dead, and the FBI had its hand in both of their assassinations. 2 years later, it was publicly revealed in an unrelated case that Chicago Black Panther Party Chief of Security William O'Neill was a paid informant for the FBI. Wow. This dude was sitting up with the party, eating the party's food, and taking the party's information back to the FBI, which caused the death of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. Yeah, Donald got a point. The FBI is corrupt. It's being corrupt. And he's in a position to unveil the corruption that we as a people have never been in. Our organizations have never been. We don't have an attorney general that can investigate the FBI. Trump, as president, does. And Trump knows that they are corrupt because he helped make them corrupt. And then them people that's in the Congress trying to come after him, he knows they corrupt too because he didn't pay them money to help him turn deals that were corrupt also. I'm telling you, you're listening to the most truthful talk show host in the business. Unbought, unbossed, and unafraid. And when the government would not produce the file, okay? They found out that William O'Neill was a paid informant. At the time, the People's Law Office on civil rights lawsuit had filed something on behalf of Hampton and Clark, and the court ignored it. When the government would not produce the file, the district court judge, Joseph Sam Perry, refused to compel them to do so. I'm going through that right now myself. Y'all know I sued the Marion County sheriff for putting me in a suicide cell where there was water on the floor, feces in the water, urine in the water, roaches running up and down the wall, mold on the sink in the commode, and put me on suicide watch because I refused to let them run sewage water across my well water. And now I'm trying to depose the nurse who helped generate the information to put me in those conditions, and her lawyer says I'm not going to present her, and the judge is saying I'm not going to compel. I don't have the authority. Well, she's been exercising the authority. Why won't she exercise the authority now? I'm telling you, they're corrupt, and Trump is exposing them as being corrupt, and we've been knowing that they are corrupt since at least 1969. That's when they killed Fred Hampton. They killed Martin in 1968. They killed Malcolm in 1965. And ain't no telling how many others that they killed. They was complicit with Swerner, them three boys that went to Mississippi to do voters registration. Cheney, Swerner, and the other one's name I can't remember. And just as the select committee had promised, the documents revealed the FBI's effort to foment violence against Fred Hampton and the Chicago Panthers. What is the results of this corruption that we've been knowing about, that Donald is exposed? Report notes rising rates of deaths by suicide, alcohol, and drugs. They call these deaths of despair, and they say it's edging up. These people in America, the rank and file, they don't want America to be great again, or America to be America again, because they understand who America was and who America is. They want something better than that. And because they want something better than that, and because they don't want to be something better than that, and because if they will not be a part of that corruption, then America don't let them prosper. And because America don't let them prosper, they killing themselves. They're doing it right here in Indiana. Indiana's suicide rate has soared. This is an article in the Indianapolis Business Journal, June 18, 2018. Suicide rate soaring in Indiana. Indiana's suicide rate has soared 31.9% between 1999 and 2016. The equivalent of one extra suicide every 8 hours. Every 8 hours, somebody in Indiana is taking their life because they do not want to be a part of the America that is being exposed by Donald Trump investigating the FBI. I told y'all I'm unbought. I'm the most truthful talk show host in America. Unbought, unbossed, and unafraid. Nationally, suicide is a leading cause of death, with rates increasing in nearly every state during the 17-year time frame the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported this month. Biden, this is the threat. America's deception and going after people who just want to be treated humanely. And the country won't treat people humanely, a justice system that won't act justly. This is the threat to America's existence, not Trump exposing the FBI and the corruption that's running there. Yeah, you're right. There is an existential threat to America's existence. But it ain't Donald Trump exposing the FBI. It is the America trying to act like that it is pristine, and it's not. You better wake up. Because it's not going to get any better. And Donald Trump is correct. You've been listening to Elder Umoja Ajabu, your host for After Naked Truth. Unbought, unbossed, and unafraid. The most truthful talk show host in the business.
This is not a test.
If you listen to this program, you're gonna get the truth, the whole truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth. The truth is the FBI has been corrupt. The FBI was complicit in the arrest of the leader, Nelson Mandela. They've been corrupt for a while. I don't have but one question for you. You ready?
and nothing but the butt naked truth. This program is X-rated.
You ready?
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
You are now tuned in to the world's most honest talk show host, the Elder Umoja Ajabu.
Play it on your page. Tag.
This is not a test.